Hello everyone, welcome to Coding Simplified, and today we are going to discuss about a new topic in JUnit, which is assertions. Okay, so basically assertions helps in validating the expected output with the actual output of the test case. Okay, so whenever we are developing some test case, then we are having one expected output and one actual output. What we do is we compare these both two outputs, and we on the basis of that we say is that our test is passed or failed. Okay, so let us see how we can work with the assertions in JUnit. So first of all, let me tell you one thing, that in here in the main Java, in here I have created this calculator class. So basically this calculator class, what it does is simply it is having some methods, which is to add, okay, then subtract, which returns a plus b, subtract returns a minus b, and there is multiply, which returns a multiplied by b, and one division method. Okay, so these four basic methods I am having in this particular class, and we will be using these methods to learn assertions. Let us get started with it. So first of all, let me create an object of this particular calculator class. So let me name is calc, and then new calculator. So in here I have just instantiated this calculator class so that we can use it in our test cases. So let us write our first test case. Okay, now this is a basic class I am having JUnit demo, in which I am creating some of the test cases, and we will create the test cases based on the assertions. So first of all, let me make it public void, then first test case is assert equal test case. Okay, so let us first talk about what is this assert equal. So let us first of all talk about the assert equal. So as in our previous tutorial we have seen that we are having this assertions class. Okay, so in this assertion class there are a lot of static methods. Okay, so if you can see, like the first method is assert equal. So this particular method takes different type of argument, like integer, byte, then long, then character, then double, float, every type of, like, they provide the method which take every type of argument. So this is the assert equal. Then in the same way we are having assert array equals. Okay, then assert not equal. So there are like lot of methods, we will be discussing about it. So this is the basic class which provide these static methods to be used in the test cases to compare the expected and actual result. So first of all, let me use the assert equal. So here we are, this is the assert equal. So what we need to do is we need to compare the two results, like one is the expected and one is the actual, and on the basis of that, if the expected and actual results are equal, then it will pass the test case. Otherwise, like whenever they are not equal, then it will fail the test case. So let us first see the positive case. So let me use this calculator class, and let me, like, this is our expected output, the 4, and if I do this calc, then in the calc I am having this add method. So I am using this simple add method 2, 2. I am passing these two arguments in here, 2, 2. So what it will return is, it will return the addition of 2, 2, which is 4, and it will like equate with this our expected output. So let me also give it a name so that it will be more clear. Display name, then it will assert equal test case. So now let me run this particular test case, and we will see what will happen once this test will be running. So in here, if you can see, then our test has got passed, because like our expected output is 4, which is equals to the addition of 2, 2. Now let us see another aspect of this assert equal. So for now, like, I am changing this expected result. Okay, and this time like we are expecting 3, but our result will be 4, so the test should be failed in this case. So our test got failed because expected is 3 and actual is 4. So this is how assert equal works. Like if the expected output and actual output are equal, then it will pass the test case, and if they expected and actual are not equal, then it will fail the test case. So there is one more important thing, that like as in here we are giving two arguments in this particular function, expected and actual, but we can also print the message whenever our test got failed. So let me write assert test failed. Okay, so it is about the failing message. So our test got failed, and it is clearly saying that assert equal test failed, and expected is 3 and actual is 4. Okay, so this is the basic assert equal. Now like there is one more thing with this message, like so let me tell you, we can also give, like I have provided a lambda function here. Okay, so what it is doing is like whenever we write this particular message, so when this particular function is executed, it will read this particular argument, but by doing so this particular message will only be read when our test got failed. So are you getting my point? Like when our test get passed, in that case this message is not required, and we are saying to this particular function that read this particular message whenever the test got failed. So this is also an important thing we can do in JUnit 5. So this was not available in JUnit 4, it was only available in JUnit 5. So the everything is same, like our test got failed and the message is also same, but we are doing things differently in here. Okay, now let us see one more thing. So for now let me make it 4 and let me comment this particular method. Now there is one more thing in the assertions, which is assert not equal. Okay, so this assert not equal works up in like same as opposite of this assert equal. Like it will match, like if the expected output and actual output are not equal, then it will pass the test case. So let me show you. Let me do same thing in here. So it is here. So in this case our unexpected output is 3. Okay, so which is correct. Now let me run this particular. So in this case our test got passed, because like we are doing assert not equal, and whenever we make it equal, let me make it 4, then it should get failed in that case. Yeah, our test case got failed. Okay, so these are the basic things about the assert equal and assert not equal. Now let me make it 3 again. Okay, now let us see one more assertion function, which is assert array equals. Okay, so let me create a new test case. Let me give a test notation, then let me give a display name on it. Display name will be assert case. Okay, now let me create a method, public void assert array equal. Okay, so let us now see what assert array equal does. So assert array equal is also an important function, assert array equals. So basically what it does is like it will compare two arrays. In this particular method assert array equal, we can provide an array and then we can compare two arrays. So let me give it one array. So I'm creating a array here. Okay, so yeah, now let me give it 1, 2 and 3, and then this is our expected array, and let me put a actual array also, 1, 2, 3. So this is the same as assert equal, but it is only comparing these two arrays. So let me run this particular test case. So in this case our both the test cases got passed, like the assert array equal and assert equal test case. So this is the simple thing about assert array equal. And like in this also, like if our expected and actual are not equal, then it will throw the error. So let me show this also. So what I have done is I have just simply changed the order of expected and actual. So let me rerun it again. So like our assert array equal test case got passed failed because like our order is different of the expected and actual. So in the same way, like if the arrays are not, element of arrays are not equal, then also it will fail the test case. So this is the simple thing about assert array equal. Now let me make it correct, and now let us see the another annotation in JUnit, which is assert iterable equal. So like whenever we are having some iterable instance, then we can use this particular assert. Okay, now let me create a public void. Okay, so it also works in the same way. The assert array equal and assert equal works. So let me create an instance of iterable. Let me give integer for now. Then this is our list one, let's say new array list. Okay, so in here like let us give the arrays dot as list, and let us give some arguments. So it will create the list of these particular 3 numbers. And in the same way, let us have another table which is list 2. Let us give the name, and then for now let us make it same. Now if we do assertions dot assert iterable equals, so it will take 2 arguments, like the actual list and expected list, and on the basis of that it will run the test cases. So let me run this class again. So for now we are having 3 test cases. Okay, one is like assert equal, assert array equal, and assert iterable equal. So this particular test case also got passed because both the lists are equal. So if I change the actual list, let me give 4 also in here, and let me rerun this particular test case. Now we will see what will happen. So our assert iterable equal test case got failed. Okay, because like our expected result is not equal to actual result. So this is also an important annotation, like in the JUnit 4 there are a lot of things which we cannot do, like these kind of things we can compare the list and arrays and this stuff. In JUnit 5 we can also do in here. Okay, now let us proceed forward to our next annotation, which is assert not null. Okay, so assert not null annotation, let me give the display name assert not null test. Okay, so public void, then assert not null test, and then like for that let us create 2 strings. Okay, a string, let me give a null string, its name is null string, and let me provide null in here, and then let us create another string which is not null string. Okay, so it will be some name, let's say ABC. It is having the ABC not null string. Now let us see what this assert not null will do. So assertions dot assert not null. Okay, not null. So this is only taking 1 argument, because it will see that if the thing which is given is null or not, if the object which is provided in it is null or not. So it will take argument as a object. Okay, so let me provide a null string firstly. Now let us see by running this particular method what will happen. So all the test cases got passed, but this assert not null test case failed, because like as we are doing the assert on not null, that whatever argument we give here it should not be null, but for now as we have provided the null argument, its value is null, so that's why it is getting failed. Now let me do this not null string. So yeah, all the 4 test cases got passed, and assert not null test case also got passed because we have provided the not null string in here. So there is one more thing, like for all the methods in the assertions, they provide a simple the message object also. Okay, so if you see this assert not null, I am in the assertions class, then in this it also takes the message. So each and every method of the assertions class in which we are comparing the expected and actual result, they provide the facility of giving some message That is, whenever the test got failed, then that particular message will print on the console or in the logs. So this is very important thing. Like we can use this message in our, like this is the practice we need to follow. Whenever our test get failed due to some assertion, then we should print the message why the test got failed. Okay, now let us move towards the next annotation, which is assert true. So these like assert true and assert false are very important annotation. Like we as a developer using these particular annotations many times. So let me tell how these particular annotations are working. So first of all, let us see assert. Okay, now let me create a public void assert true test. Okay, so what this assert true will do, like whenever we provide any true value in this particular assertion, then it will pass the test case, and if the value is false, then it will fail the test case. So for that, let me take two boolean values. First is true boolean, okay, which is true. So let us use true only here. Like we will see how it is working. Boolean false. Okay, so now let us see how this assertions dot assert true working. So if you can see, then it is taking argument as a boolean. So it takes some condition on the basis of which it depicts that our test is getting passed or failed. Like if the condition returns true, then our particular test case will got passed, or if it will return false, then it will got failed. Okay, so for now let me make it simple. Like I'm not making any condition or not implementing some logic in here. I'm simply doing these true and false values here and provide it as a argument so that we can see how it works now. So let us rerun this particular class, run JUnit demo, and let us see our test case got failed or passed. So all our 5 test cases got passed, and this assert true test also got passed because we have provided the true value in here. Okay, then let me again provide one message in here that test failed. Okay, failed. Now let me provide this false boolean value, and let me run this particular class. So our assert true test got failed because as we have provided the false value here, like our condition will return false, then it will get failed. And it is also printing this particular message, that's assert true failed, expected is true but was false, because assert true only expect that like the condition which we provide here, the argument should return true. Okay, to it. So in the same way, assert false also work. Let me copy paste this particular test case and show you how assert false working. So assert false, and let us change this to assert false. Okay, so this assert false does the same thing as assert true. Like it takes one condition, and on the basis of it depicts like the assertion should get failed or pass. But this is the reverse of assert true. In this, if the condition will be false, then this should test will be get passed. Okay, and if the condition will be true, then it will got failed. So now let us see. Like firstly I have provided this false boolean in here, and there is a simple message assert false test failed. Now let us run this particular class again. Okay, so our assert true got failed because as we have provided the false boolean in previous function. But now let us see assert false test. So as you can see, our assert false test case got passed in that case, because what condition we are providing is we are providing as false value, and it got passed. Let me do a true boolean here, and after that let me run it. So I have simply changed the false boolean to true boolean. Now our 2 test case got failed. First one is this, because we are providing the false boolean in the assert true, like in the previous method, and in the assert false we are providing the true as an argument. So that way it got failed, that assert true get failed. Okay, so it is assert true, assert false. So assert false test failed, expected is false but was true. So it is like simply printing in here, and with this also it is very clear that what is happening in it. So whenever we are working with some logic and implementing the test case, we use this assert true and assert false in the same fashion, but in like the real time scenarios, we are having some particular conditions. Let's say we are having some logic and it return true and false on the basis of the calculation. So we can provide in here, and we can assert our test case. Yeah, so I hope that till now all the assertions we have worked are like familiar and are clear to us. Okay, and let us see some more assertions which are also very important. For now, let me pass these particular test cases. Let me provide false in the assert false and true in assert true. Okay, now let us see one more annotations in JUnit, which is assert exception. So it is also a very important annotation. We can use it whenever we need some exceptions to be thrown. Let's say in the test case we want that there is a particular logic which throws a particular exception on a particular condition. Okay, and we in this particular assertion, what we can provide is we can just provide a exception, expected exception, and it will just take the actual exception and compare these both. If these are equal, then it will pass the test case, otherwise it will fail the test case. So like let us understand by an example. So in this particular assertion of exception, what we can do is we can just take give the expected exception. Okay, and our logic, whatever the logic is, it will return some exception, and we can compare these two exceptions, and then on the basis of it we can say that our test should be passing or it is failing. Okay, now let us do assertions dot assert through. So assert throws is a static method in the assertions class which takes the expected type, the exception, and there is one executable. So let us see how this executable is working. This executable is a particular function what we can provide in here, and on the basis of it, what that particular function will return, like whatever exception it will be throwing, it will compare with the expected type exception, and then it will like depict our test should be passing or failing. So in that case, let us see how it is working. So let me provide one exception here, arithmetic exception dot class. Okay, so I am simply, what I am doing with this is like I have simply provided this expected exception what we are expecting in this case, and now let us write one lambda method in here, and lambda method will be calc dot divide. Okay, and in the division what we provide is 1, 0. Okay, so of our calculator class we are having this division method, and this is a divided by b. So if we provide this 1, 0 in here, then it is expected that it will be throwing a arithmetic exception. So we have simply provided this arithmetic exception, and this is the method which we have provided in here, and we are expecting that this method should throw the arithmetic exception with these argument. Okay, and now let me provide the message also here, assert test case failed. Now let us rerun this particular class, and let us see how this assert exception is working. Okay, so if you can see, our test got passed because like this particular method will be throwing the arithmetic exception, and the same we are expecting in here. Now let me change to something else. Let me say null pointer exception dot class. Okay, and let us run this again. So in this case this should be failing because our actual will be arithmetic exception. So in here it has provided that assert exception test case failed, unexpected exception thrown, expected. Okay, so this is the expected null pointer exception, and this is the actual arithmetic exception. Okay, so these do not match, so that's why it failed this particular test case. So you can see that how powerful the JUnit 5 is. Like lot of logics, like we can say like almost all the logics it is covering, and it is asserting on the basis of it, whatever we can do it in Java. So let me provide arithmetic exception again. Okay, and let us proceed to our next annotation. So this will be a like very important annotation. Let me show you assert all. Okay, so assert all is also a very simple annotation, and we can do lot of things with this particular assert all. Public void assert all test, and let us do something in it. So what this assert all does is, let us see, assertions dot assert all. So it takes the executable as a argument. So executable is like we can provide some lambda function in here, and on the basis of it we can do multiple tests in this particular assert all. So let me show you by example how this assert all is working. So for now what I am doing is, let's say we are having one addition method. So in this calculator class we are having this addition method. So there are multiple test cases of addition. Let's say positive value add with the positive value, negative value with the positive value, negative value adds with the negative value, and some value adds with the 0. So these are the test cases we need to cover. Like rather than writing the multiple test case, we can provide this assert all and write all these test cases in the single place, so that we can confirm that this test case covers all the test cases of the particular logic. So for now we are just using the addition method. So in this what we can do is assert, okay, assertions dot assert equal, okay, and then we can do calc object dot add, and in the addition we can provide the two values. So like this is our first expectation, first test case of this assert all. In the same way we can provide more things. Let me give -1 here, so our expected output will be 2. Okay, and these all the functions are comma separated values. Let me write one more test case of negative and negative. So -4, -1 and -3, the expected is -4. Then let me write one more. Okay, so it is saying comma is missing in here. So this is our assert all method, and in this particular assertion we have covered multiple test cases, like as I have told, like positive, 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 negative, all that kind of test cases we have covered. So let us run it. Like in this, so all our test cases got passed because we have provided all the actual and expected result as true. So assert all test also got passed. Now like let us fail this particular test case. I'm simply okay. So I have done same methods. Let me provide 0 in here. This test case will count if the value will be 0, so it should be 3, but let us give 2. So with this, one test got failed, the assert all test case, because it is saying that expected is 2 but actual is 3. Okay, so this is also a very important assertion method, which is assert all. There are a lot of assertions method, like we can, if you like go through all the methods in the assertions, let me show you. So there are a lot of methods, like we can do experiments with many methods, but this time like there is assert timeout also, like whatever expected timeout we are having, we can put with the actual and we can compare these both the same. Okay, so like assert same and like assert not same, assert does not throw. So as we have read about the assert throw, so it is saying that assert does not throw, it is the reverse of that particular method. So there are a lot of things, but let me show you one more and then we will wrap up this. Okay, so display name, there is one more assertion which like is used more frequently, so that's why I'm telling assert fail. So assert fail is a simple statement, like we can simply fail the test case if like this particular condition does not met or something happen. So how we can do it? Assert fail test. So let me tell assertion dot assert. Oh, so it is assertions dot fail. That's why I'm thinking like why assert fail is not coming. And we can also provide one message here that let us say like this test case will. Okay, so let us run this class again and see. So assert fail test got failed because like we have simply written like there is no good reason for it to be passed, so that's why it got failed, and it is saying that this test case fail every time. So these are the basic assertions method we are having, and as I've told, like you can explore more by going through all the methods in here and see how these all are working. But like these are all the basic methods which we used in our daily life as a developer. So let us encapsulate this particular tutorial and let us see what are the assertions we have seen. So first assertion is like assert equal. Okay, then we have seen about assert not equal, which will like the reverse of this, opposite of assert equal. Then assert array equal, it will compare two arrays and give the output, either the test is passed or failed. And then assert iteratable equal, in which we can compare two lists, two iterable objects. Then assert not null. Okay, then these are the two very important methods, assert true and assert false. Then we have also seen how we can capture the exception and do assert on basis of that. There is and then like we have also seen that how we can wrap up multiple assertions in the single through assert all. And then there is the last one, assert fail. Okay, so guys, that's it for this tutorial. And if you guys are having any question related to the assertions in JUnit, then you can mention it in our comment section. So thank you.